Oh yeah, sorry. I gotta be easy. I cut myself at work today, so no stitches needed. I'm a warrior. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, New Comic Book Day Eve. Unless you're Mr. BC because, well, you're not here, or unless you're Mr. Nemesis Prime because you're watching Ahsoka. You guys know that South Park episode where the internet goes out and then they have to go into that like office if they want to use like internet, but it's really just like people drawing. That scene I feel is going to be Justin after this 2 episodes because it's 2 episodes today. So we'll see. With no BC, we do have a party to attend here, and we've only got room for one. So it's just me and Mr. Rocksteady tonight. Rocksteady, man, what is going on? Happy to have you back from your Ontario trip that was not even comic related, but what's going on, man?
Not much. Happy to be back. It feels like it's been a while since I've been on here.
Yeah, it's been before Terrificon, right? Like the week before Terrificon, I think. That was like the last
That's right, eh? I haven't been on since then.
Yeah,
That's
you've
wild.
changed. You've changed, man. Ever since
Hollywood.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since BC got his channel, you guys have been just a Hollywood. But yeah, man, you were in Ontario. You got not anything comic related, so that was kind of cool.
But I did bring home the last of my stuff from Terrificon because when I flew out of there the first time, I didn't have enough room, so I stashed some stuff at my parents' house, and then I was able to bring the rest home.
Man, I've got the short box that because we all like took a short box from it, but I still have like maybe 3/4 of it still here. And I mean, you know how much I've sold so far. Justin sold a lot, so who knows? I might be maybe making a return to Whatnot to sell some of these beautiful books, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But
I'll pop in your room.
Yeah, why not, right? I'm shocked, to be honest. You and I were the only ones that were like, "Oh, Ahsoka, cool." No, let's just do Newbieverse.
I'm watching it right after this, but put it this way: you're more important to me than Ahsoka or Blue Beetle.
Oh man, thank you so much. I'm actually wearing the sweater because I went to go see it yesterday. I actually am wearing the same sweater that I actually went to see the movie in, and my wife was like, "Are you wearing a blue shirt because we are going to see Blue Beetle?" And I was like, no. But you ever get those moments where you're like with your significant other and they just embarrass you when it comes to comics? So we're in line because I needed popcorn. So I'm in line to get it. We got the tickets, and I'm one of those people that I like to go to the movie like probably 40 minutes before the movie starts. I want to get my seat. I want to do everything so like I can just get to my seat and just chill. So this time, my wife is like, "I'm not going an hour early." The movie was at 7:10. She's like, "We're gonna leave at 6:30," and I was like, "Oof." All right, this is gonna be a mission. So I'm literally breaking every speeding limit there is on the way there because I'm like, I got to get there early. We get there. There's a massive line to get popcorn and everything, and she goes, "Oh, I still can't believe I'm going to go see Black Beetle." And there was a dude that was in line that was right in front of us, and he kind of did one of these. He was like one of those, and I was just like, oh, "It's Blue Beetle," and like I didn't even look at this guy because I didn't want him to know that I like had seen it. And I was like, "Oh, it's Blue Beetle." She's like, "Blue, black, it doesn't matter." And I'm like, oh, "Fucking Christ!" So yeah, that was pretty much my experience with my wife watching this, followed by, "Is this the last dork movie I have to see this year?" And I responded, "No," because Aquaman comes out in November. So she was like, "Ugh." So we'll see. I'm going to try to convince her to go to that, but yeah, we will touch a little bit on Blue Beetle. Obviously, you didn't see it, so I don't want to like spoil it fully for you. But if you want,
don't go full spoiler. You never go full spoiler.
Okay, yeah, sure. So just a little tip.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get the show going, man. Let's say hello to the chat, and then let's rock and roll. AOA. What's going on, man? Silver medal or gold medal? Did you get the gold medal last week? I can't remember. Mr. Dan Delatorre is hanging out with us. He's getting home the silver, and of course, Mr. Swagglehouse, bronze medal club, baby. What's going on, Mickey? What's happening, brother? He is not a fan of Blue Beetle. If like my chats in a group that I'm with him and Vancouver and Ryan and Omega Red and all those guys, Blue Beetle is not a fan favorite right now in that group. So it's tough. It's tough. Let's fucking go. Newbie and Rocksteady back at it.
Go,
yes,
Maddie.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm done. I've done okay, but I'm a toy influencer. Prove it. Prove it. I've not seen one toy video that you've done, man. And you can't use that flamethrower in your video for your comics as a toy. All right.
He said he's no toy collector.
Oh, no toy. Oh, Jesus. See? Oh, will Jules be here today?
Well, stand by the chat. Somebody has made an appearance. I was really sad I missed it last week because I'm a big fan.
Oh God, yeah, maybe he makes an appearance. Who knows? Onion Metal for me. What's going on, neighbor to the north, fellow Canadian, the comic vet? What's up? What's going on, man? See you at Fan Expo. Yes, Fan Expo is starting on Thursday. I will be there with Just Cruz, who is right here. Just Cruz is in the house. What's going on, man?
Right on cue.
We will be chatting tomorrow, Mr. Don, and I'll send you a text. I'll give you the final plans for what we're going to be doing on Friday. But I will be with Mr. Just Cruz all day at Fan Expo on Friday. I say all day, but like me and him have a great hunting strategy, so we're usually like in and out like super quick. So we'll see, but we'll be hanging out. I don't have to rush to work, so that's good. Newbie survived a maple syrup tapping accident. He is a hero. Oh, jeez. Why is anyone watching this show and not Ahsoka on Disney Plus? Oh man, there's like what? How many Ahsoka fans are there? There's like probably like 6. Let's be honest. How many Ahsoka fans are there out there? There's like Justin. There's Comic Andy. Those are the only 2 that I actually can think of, like right off the top of my head. Maybe Furbird. I don't know. That's it, right?
No, my thread today on Instagram was just like Ahsoka cover after first appearance, after like my entire thing.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. All right. Well, hey, I mean, Justin told me to watch like the Rebels and all that stuff, like leading up to this. And he's like, hey, man, if you start like a month, like if I can't remember what he said, but I think it was like we were still in July. And he's like, hey, if you watch 2 episodes a day, there's like 23 episodes or something. By the time we get to, Ahsoka, you'll understand everything. And I was like, what else we got? So we'll see. AOA's in here. Like I said, Kenneth is in here. What is going on? Shout out to Rocksteady, true Canadian comic nerd, unlike that card lover Newbie. Oh my God. I swear to God. Mr. Furbird's in here. Just like I said, these 2 dudes. What's going on, dude? How are you, man? What's up, Rocksteady? F Star Wars. Just kidding. Hey man, just be careful. There's Star Wars people everywhere, so
there might be a spy in here.
Yeah, let's just calm down. But yeah, let's get the show going. New comic book day. There's probably about 3 or 4 books that we're going to really touch on. One in the mentions because I forgot to add in the presentation. Then we're going to go right into the news. We'll touch a little bit on Blue Beetle, and then we're going to get ready for Fan Expo, which is going to be weird because Greg, the last Fan Expo we were at, you were there, and this time you're not there. So
yeah, it was me, you, and Cruz, and we met up with a bunch of the other gang. So that was awesome.
Was Wesley with us? Did he meet us?
Wes, that was the first time I met Wes in person. Dave was there.
Yeah. Wes, Craig Mason, I think was there. Tim, I think was there.
Tim.
Yeah, so I'm expecting the full gang there. I'm not sure if they're going to be there Friday, but definitely going to be there. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Wobble. What's going on, man? All right. Let's get it going. Greg, I do have to ask, even though BC's not here, I always ask, but light week, heavy week, what are your thoughts on New Comic Book Day this week?
I think I only got 3 books.
3 books? Wow.
This week, yeah.
Congrats, Rocksteady, on taking over for BC now that he is Hollywood.
Yeah. Somebody's got to fill the void.
Yeah, oh, geez. Newbie, like I said on IG, if you need Fan Expo exclusives, I'll try and grab you a copy or 2 with my discount. Yes, absolutely, man. I haven't seen what the exclusives are. I'm hoping like one of those crazy whatnot influencers like post what they're going to be grabbing, and then I'll know what to flip for $500, I guess. But no, all jokes aside, I just hope that there's no gold Batman
No,
situation like what
that's
happened
what
last
it
year.
all is. I never grab anything from Fan Expo.
Yeah, I've never grabbed
No,
an exclusive from Fan Expo like ever.
not
But
Fan Expo.
But when people were talking about $350 Canadian for that gold Batman, and I'm there, obviously I'm going to be like, yeah, can
Okay,
I find one? But
so that's a lie. I did grab it once from Fan Expo, but you can buy all the covers on their website. So it's not really like an exclusive. I'm getting really tired with people calling some books like San Diego Comic Con exclusive, but you can get it on like their store online or 3 different whatnot feeds, like not even like aftermarket. Like that's like the first to consumer, right? So they're not really, they don't feel like exclusives anymore. And like that's the issue with the Fan Expo stuff is you can grab it all off their website. So one time I think it was something Love, it's like the first appearance of Harry Potter, they did an exclusive for. And Love is Love, I think it's called. And I grabbed a bunch off their website.
why does that sound familiar? Either the story or that book sounds familiar. I think you might have told me this about
Yeah.
exclusives. But
It's a
yeah,
Harry Potter first
it's
appearance.
getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
Dan, no, I do not. And yeah, Josh, that's insane. See, this is the part that I hate. It's same with like later printings, right? It's like perfect example. Death of Doctor Strange 1, or Bloodstone. Remember, it was like the first
Yeah.
appearance of I forget, like Elsa's like sister or whatever, and they did like the
Okay.
1 in 10, and then the second print was the 1 in 10, but like it was just a little color difference in like the writing or
Yeah.
something. I hate when they do that, and I also hate when they do this. Like last year's exclusive was the gold Batman. Now it's silver. Like I just feel
It's
like
just getting old, right? That's what
yeah,
killed like a lot of the hype is people just got overwhelmed. There's so much trash out there. Those books, like if you follow Ferdbird, he'll show some books that were like that My Little Pony one that was $40, and then it's down to $5 like a week later or 2 weeks later. Like this, people make it seem so exclusive and they brainwash you, and then you realize like those aren't the books to have, right?
no,
They're
no,
not original whatsoever. If they're just going to keep making colors, that means there's going to be a ton out there and they're less desirable, right? So, like
yeah,
a lot of these expo stuff and exclusives just don't do it for me. Because
no.
it's all pump and dump.
Exactly. And that's the thing too, right? Like you might get some heat on some of this stuff, like say the Friday, Saturday, everyone's chasing, and then by Sunday, everyone's like, next, right? Like that's
Yeah,
just kind of where
exactly.
we've gotten, right?
Like it's cool when it's some original stuff, like some of the say Invincible stuff, but then they kill those battle damages. Like there's just so many of them, right? They just
Man,
do it to
I
death.
hated those. I hated those. You're talking about like when they had the cut the character and then it's like all like bloody or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
yeah, those were so bad. Like, okay, yeah, the first one I was like, cool,
yeah,
that's
cool.
awesome. But then when you do it to
Exactly.
like every character, they did it to like some Marvel characters. Remember they did it with Moon Knight too. Like
Yeah.
it's just like where's the originality? I get it's almost like NFL, right? It's like a copycat league. So like when the Wildcat came out, then every team did the Wildcat. Then the RPO, everybody does the RPO now, right? Like it's all that. I get it's a copycat league, but like, wouldn't you want to be original with stuff? Like, I don't know, just saying. Yo, Newbie, you got to bring back that Nemesis dude. He was pretty knowledgeable about comics. Man, I wanted to have him on, but apparently
Yes, great.
he's doing like Star Wars stuff, on his platform and stuff. So we kind of just let him be this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
we,
was
we might
edging
not
all week.
see
We were worried to poke him.
yeah, we might not see him until this Ahsoka stuff is done. Like we don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, Bloodstone Dam. I was thinking today at work, you know what I was thinking about, Greg? I was thinking for whatever reason, and it wasn't like I was on break or anything. I was just like thinking in my head, probably because somebody was talking to me and I didn't really want to pay attention to them. But I was thinking about like that book, that Bloodstone book. I was thinking about the foil book. I was thinking about all these books that like everybody was going crazy for in the last like say year and a half, and now they're nothing. You know what I mean? Like even Fantastic Four 358 first Mobius. because we were talking about that book not too long ago, and now that Loki 2's coming and he's going to have a prominent role in it, like we already knew. Now it's kind of spiking a little bit. It's kind of doing this, but like people are trying to grab it because it's in our face, right? It's the John Cena effect. I always talk about it, but it's just so funny to me how countless time after time after time we fall for this trick, we fall for this book, but then we don't think about it when it comes to other books, like Shang-Chi, for example. Even though he's being teased as he's going to lead the new team and he's going to have a second project and he's going to be around. Eternals, same thing. But people are like, no, because the movie wasn't that good. No. But it's like, okay, we don't put it into consideration for those characters, but we could bring like a stupid character or a book that's only going to be around for a little bit and like just go crazy for it. I don't get it. It makes
like, what was that Daredevil book with the bad guy who's supposed to be in the next movie? Like that went off for like a minute. I'm like, has nobody learned anything?
What was the bad guy?
Villains don't hold the value, especially like C tier villains,
Your wife thinks I look like Jeremy Renner. Who's that?
Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeye. I was gonna say, I'm like, is that how you spell his last name? Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. No,
like battle damaged Jeremy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, never mind. Forget that. Well, your wife sounds lovely, so thank you. All right. Let's get it going, man. I'm excited because I want to talk news. I want to talk Blue Beetle. I want to talk Fan Expo. I definitely want to talk Ahsoka.
Jokes.
Ooh. Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I may watch the show, but I am not, I repeat, not going to do a episode rating. I just won't. I won't touch that. I won't touch it at all. I don't want to touch it. I feel like if I were to say like, hey, episode 1, episode 2, like 8 out of 10s, I feel like my whole feed would just be Justin.
No, dude, you should wait till Justin posts his, then copy everything word for word and just give it like 2 grades lower. But say the exact same thing.
You know what? I think I might do that. Oh, fuck.
Good thing he's not watching.
Yeah, because he is. But Jules is right. I should have him back on the show, and I will once Star Wars is done and he's got more time. I would love to have him, man. All right, let's start show number 139. And you guys already know how we start show one, every show, not necessarily 139, but we always start off with Newbie's Dynamite Pick of the Week. Yes, I said it properly there. I said Newbies, not ours, because Greg and BC, they never have a say in it. Now, I will say, what do you think it is? Cleavage? Cosplay? Disney?
Hey,
what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Okay. So my guess is a Darkwing Duck cover. And you're going to go with like some cover worth like $50 that nobody's going to order. Let's see.
Yo, you don't know that. Yeah. You don't know that. So it is a Darkwing Duck, but it's not one of those $50 or $100 covers. The reason I picked this one was because it's got both those characters. Yeah. I love them. We were but like it's also got that like that Miles Morales annual #1, right? Like it's just got that like it's worn look.
What's that guy's name again? The with on the wheel, the Darkwing Duck's buddy.
Don't put me on the spot, man. Come on, don't put me on the spot.
If the chat could help me out. Who's that guy?
The chat's gonna have to help us because I don't remember. I also don't remember watching the show in English. I've talked about that many times because I used to watch this back as a kid in Uruguay, not when I came to Canada. In Canada, they didn't have the show.
What do they call it in Uruguay? Is it still Darkwing Duck or?
Yeah, but like I just don't. What is it?
Negaduck. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I didn't even want to pronounce that because I didn't want to like. Possibly, yeah, it just sounded a little weird. So, yeah, all right, cool. But that is the Newbie Dynamite Pick of the Week. So you got to be careful, man, on the internet. Like you got to be.
Yeah, you can't read everything people write. That's close. I see it now.
Especially when it comes from Hyper. It's just kind of like okay, So Hyper is the grammar police for me. So, all right. So, like I said, we got 3 books to talk about. 1 in the mentions, and then we're going to get right into the news. Also, If anybody has seen Blue Beetle, just quickly, don't spoil it, but I would love to see your ratings in the chat. So make sure to put the ratings for Blue Beetle in the chat once we get there. Don't ruin it. Not full spoiler, okay? I wasn't trying to race Trappy. We don't know that. All right, let's get into it. And of course, let's start with Star Wars. So not overly important, but it is a Dr. Aphra homage to Star Wars 1. Obviously, I feel like all the Star Wars people, all the Dr. Aphra fans are going to probably go out and get this one. I passed on it. I did not get it, but still, it is one of those that is kind of cool. People out there with the homages and all that stuff go nuts. What are your thoughts here, man? Did you grab one? I mean, again, it's just it's a nothing book the last time I checked, so I don't know.
So it's interesting because it obviously is the homage to number 1, but I don't know, it just seems busier. Like it doesn't seem proportionate for some reason to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of it. Like it just doesn't do it for me. And I like the homages that generally come out of Star Wars 1.
I know what you mean by the not proportionate. You know what threw me off from this one? And obviously I, being a big Star Wars guy myself, I should know this, but like the red in Darth Vader, that's thrown me off ever since I saw this book.
Darth Vader just looks cross-eyed.
Right? Like, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You can't unsee it now.
There's something with it that I'm like, yeah, no, but I definitely got that like unproportionate, too much going on kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a fan of it, but I know that Star Wars people are going to probably be picking it up. Dr. Aphra fans are probably going to be picking it up. Dr. Aphra is actually a book that's been super. I'm seeing it on Facebook Market. I don't know about you, Greg, in out west or any Canadians on the East Coast here, but that Dr. Aphra book is popping up all the time right now on Facebook Market. It seems
There's
like
a lot out there, dude.
Yeah, but a lot of people are dumping it.
It's also the time to buy it too because nobody's talking about it. Like, I don't know. There's just such good opportunity right now because there's so many available. And people are competing to sell theirs when there's so many on the market. So somebody's always trying to undercut. And like there's killer buys out there right now. And if you truly believe in any particular book right now, it's the time to stack.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
Like stack. Don't buy 1, don't buy 2. Because like if pick like 3 books you really believe in.
So And I think I talked to you about this like on our many talks at Terrificon, but like I am a big believer that Eternals and Shang-Chi are just going to be crazy. Like I really do. I feel like it's the perfect time to buy it, and people laugh and this and that, but I mean, I'm on that, when a book reaches a certain height, like Shang-Chi, for example, an 8.0 I think reached $1,800 Canadian.
See, I don't know about those.
Why?
Okay, so I agree the price is down. I agree they're probably going to go up at some point, but there's so many in that like 9.0 to 7.5 out there that the market is so saturated. And yeah, they were like Shang-Chi was a great movie, but nobody's still coming out of that and saying Shang-Chi is like my favorite superhero. So you're kind of seeing the way things were before this movie hype, right? Like if it wasn't popular before that, not a lot of people come out of it where they have a new favorite character, and it is that. So I don't know necessarily about those ones, but like
I think from like a flipper. All the flippers would know what I'm talking about, but from a flipping standpoint, from letting the hobby pay for itself, we talk about that all the time. There's a lot of people that, fund the hobby through flipping and selling books. But like, I feel like those 2 books really will be a flipper's dream down the road because like you said, for the same reasons, nobody's really talking about those. Those are 2 of my favorite books right now because they're so cheap. You can get a Shang-Chi a Marvel Special Edition 15. I don't know why I keep saying, Shang-Chi. Marvel Special Edition 15, like even low grades. Like I remember even leading up to the movie, I had bought a 4.5 and a 5.0 for like $250, $350 each. And then I flipped it. Yeah, I didn't make crazy money, but I made like 75 to 80 bucks on each book, right? So I mean, not for nothing,
I wouldn't get anything under a 9.0 in that. 15.
But it's a good time to buy it. Even in a 9.0,
exactly.
it's a good time to buy
I think you need to realize it's not going to be the same, and not just any copy will sell.
Yeah.
Like you have to get the highest grade possible.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's always absolutely. I think the one thing, and we've talked about this even like months and years ago when Eternals came out, is that the thing that hurts the Eternals book is the fact that all the first appearances aren't in that book, right? Like you have Cersei, who's in issue 2, 2 or 3, I can't remember. I think it's 2. And it's not all there, right? So I think that's what hurts that book. But we'll see. Shang-Chi 9.2 first app, $659 US. So that's about
where you buy in that over 9 range, because that's come down to where like 7.5 prices were, 8.0 prices were. So if you can sneak into that and just differentiate yourself.
Yeah. Those are 2 books that I'm finding. I'm trying to find them raw now, like for a deal, and then just kind of like hold on to them. Cause like you said, it's the perfect time to buy right now. This is the time you want to stack on stuff because everything's so cheap. I know we got on to Dr. Aphra and then to Shang-Chi, but
it's about the Dr. Aphra. If you ever want to buy it now.
Yeah. Damn. I just got offered $375 Canadian for mine.
So if you can, then buy it back lower. Like you saw the buyback I did this week.
Yeah, it's true. I should think about that. Okay. All right. Let's get into some Moon Knight. And Moon Knight's been getting a few first appearances here and there. Obviously, issue 25 had first Layla, and then Moon Knight City of the Dead had her as the Scarab. I just went to go through Blue Beetle, so I got the Scarab stuff in my head. But we've got the Jackal Origin. Yes, another Jackal. It's a cool cover. I'm not going to lie. Moon Knight looks pretty dope in there. Layla, again, on the cover. They've got a lot of things going on with Layla's character down the road. But one I'm skipping. I'm not really grabbing, but something that maybe people will be grabbing this week. How are you on your Moon Knight, Greg? And are you picking this one up?
I grabbed a few of the Layla first appearances, but I didn't grab any of this. Again, I think it's like B-level villains. Like it's not somewhere I want to put my money, and I'm not reading the story. So
so I went to my LCS Sunday, and I picked up some books. And it's funny because we get characters that Kid Venom, okay, he not Spider-Boy, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that everybody was talking about, right? Like the San Diego, not exclusive, sorry, but they were just like they were San Diego something, right? Yeah. No one's talking about them. DC, Newbie buys DC, first appearance of her kid Trinity. Nobody's buying, nobody's talking about them, but graded, these books are hot. I just don't know lately when it comes to New Comic Book Day. I mean, I'm finding myself like kind of taking a step back. I used to be getting 3 copies of each. Now I'm finding, 2, sometimes 1. And I'm finding that on the ones that I only grab 1 copy of, those are the ones that are hitting, and it's really bothering me. But deep down in my head, I always want to order 2 or 3 just because, hey, 1 to read, 1 to grade, 1 to flip, right? That's always been kind of like my strategy. But yeah, I don't know. New Comic Book Days is still a little weird, even in 2023 in August to me. So I don't know. Jackal looks like a giant purple bunny on the cover.
Yeah.
Actually, it does. Yeah. It does. You skipped this one, Greg? Sorry, you're not grabbing.
Yeah, I didn't get this one. No. Well, I'd bet on Layla more than I'd bet on this.
Yeah, I still gotta find my Laylas. I feel like Big B forgot about my Laylas, unless I already have them. But
yeah, it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah. All right. There is one book that wasn't on here, and Greg, you actually had talked about it just previously before, or 2 books previously. So I don't know if you want to start off, but I know you wanted to talk about Battle Chasers 12 with the smoking red head.
Yeah, Battle Chasers 12. I think it's like cover D or something like that.
It is,
It's an
yeah.
art germ cover. Battle Chasers is a hotter series than you think it is. It kind of has a cult following. Everybody was super disappointed that it ended the way it did before. Like, it didn't really end, and they've picked up where they left off, and that's definitely like on my read list as well. So yeah, I think Battle Chasers isn't something to sleep on. And then Swag brought up about the 300 facsimile and the
Yep.
foil and how they're a scammer's dream. Yeah, like I don't know what change I want to see, but I do wish they were very different from the originals. Like, maybe in big bold lettering on the back, say facsimile, or something along those lines. I think this is one, not as a resale, but I think it'll do well. I think for the person who's not the huge comic book collector, this would look good on their shelf with their Venom action figures. I think this is the one that you get signed or something along those lines. So I think it'll do very well. I think there will always be a market for it. I don't know if it's a book you're going to make a ton of money off of. But I did get the foil of the 300.
So I was just looking because I do have some pictures, and some of the ones, that were like, the scammer's dream. We had the infamous Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
Like that one was a little recent, wasn't it? That was like May, April, I think it was, and people were kind of going nuts. We had the I always talk about this one, but like we did have the X-Men 266 when that came out for the first time. I know a few people that got scammed off of that. So there is a few, especially for like new people, for you noobs out there, no pun intended, but you have to make sure that you know what you're talking about. 9 out of 10 times, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So, just be
But I
careful
do
when it
think
comes to that.
the ASM 300 is one people will want to read as well. So I think it'll do well. I just think they would do something different instead of just change the barcode,
Yeah. Okay, Hyper. I'm gonna look. Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hyper just sold me all his collection for $3. So yes, I will do that.
Oh, what a deal.
Yeah.
What a deal.
The last book that we were actually didn't put in the presentation, but it is Immortal Thor #1.
Oh, yeah.
And
We
we
talked
get
about
a
it before.
few first appearances in that as well. So we get
I think there's two. It's like some different version of Loki and some different version of Thor.
Yeah, so we get Upguard Loki, and then we get a Tyrannos, aka Utgard Thor. So I probably butchered it. This is probably gonna be a clip for somebody. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Utgard Thor.
I mean, hey, UT Thor, University of Texas, baby. I'm not from Texas, if anybody's watching. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think when it comes to that, but who knows? I mean, what happened like 2 weeks ago? Spider-Man 31 was hot for a little bit because it had that one character, and then all of a sudden now it's like a $5 book. We see it all the time. My Little Pony. I don't know if that Thor book's going to get any heat. If it does, great. My shop loves to get a lot of Thor stuff in there, so I've never had a problem. You remember when Thor had like that
Black
what
Widow.
was it, like Thor 24, Thor 25, Thor 26? Those 3 books were like super hot because there was like a first appearance last year. Yeah, like I didn't even have to order those. Why? Because like they had a lot of copies. They always get a lot of Thor stuff, so like I don't need to run and chase after this one. I'm pretty good, so we'll see. But that is your comic mentions for this week. New comic book day this week, for the most part, is a little weak. So, it's not as heavy or as cool as, Kid Venom last week. But, Greg, let's be honest. Where's Kid Venom now? Right?
Well,
Like it's still a $5 book on eBay even. Like it hasn't exploded like people thought, like Spider-Boy, right?
It's interesting, right? Because like some books just stick. Like this year we got Tosin and we got Spider-Boy.
Did we get Tosin this year? No, we got Tosin last year.
Wasn't Tosin like February this year?
No, Tosin was last year.
Last year?
His
so maybe we're getting like one per year now.
Yeah, so we get one big person, per year, basically. Now, mind you, last year we did get Captain Carter, number
where's
one.
That now? Where's that now?
100%. I totally agree with you. But those were two of the bigger books from last year. This year, I mean, let's do it really quickly. Spider-Boy is probably the biggest book this year, right?
Biggest character, like that manga,
that Spider one or Venomverse one. Even that one's even fallen a little bit too, though. It's not.
It's hanging. Yeah, I
don't know. You think we're going to be going into September, 9 months of the year already? We're basically done with 2023, like from a mathematical term, right? Like we're pretty much like in the home stretch to 2024, and the biggest book has been Spider-Boy, and that came out in like May, I think it was May or April. But even before that, like, can you think of a hot book? I can't. Like,
yeah, like it nothing. Like I feel like there's probably some indie we're missing. Like,
100%. Yeah, there's an indie.
Whatever, but as far as like superhero stuff goes, like
it does seem like lately there's just one or two a year now that like really stand out, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's it. So
it's flavor of the week, otherwise.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get into some comic news. And guys, there is massive comic news when it comes to Fantastic Four. Greg, did you catch the news with Fantastic Four? I don't think it's getting a lot of attention, but please tell me you caught on.
I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, this is massive. Like the biggest news we could get for Fantastic Four, and zero people are talking about it.
Is it the Galactus thing?
I've heard zero people talking about it. Zero people talking about it, okay? Marvel Studios designer confirms that the studio tweaked the logo of Fantastic Four. So now it looks like it's like a 3D one, and they've kind of just filled it in.
This is the news?
It's similar to what the Portland Trailblazers did 5 years ago when they revamped their logo, and all they did was flip it upside down. And people were like, are you fucking serious? Now, here's why this is news and why I bring it up. It's not because I actually wanted to talk about this, but the fact that if you think about all the news surrounding this property lately, yes, are we getting it during the strike and all this? Yes. But let's be honest and let's step back a second. Look at all the actors and actresses and names that they want for this project. The fact that they're putting, I mean, I don't know if they're going to bring Galactus in. Like, we still got Kang here. So, like, I don't know what their angle could be. But we're going to be getting at least a decent villain. They're doing so much to make this property a success. That's kind of where I'm going with this, is the fact that they're actually all in on this. Not like the other two properties. Like, I'm so pumped for this project. And I hope to God that it is not like, say, Shazam here, because there's just a lot going on, man. And I know I'm like the Iron Man guy, but I'm just as equally the Fantastic Four guy as well, even though I don't own Fantastic Four #1. But I don't know. I just think that there's so much going on with Fantastic Four, whether it just be a small tweak with the logo. Like, I think they're going all in on this. And I think a lot of people are right. And they have their right to kind of be like cautious about it because of the fact that they've already went 0-2 and swung for the fences, right? Like, people like perfect example. My wife was talking to me about like, oh, what's this new book? Because she hadn't seen it. She doesn't usually come in this. And I said, oh, that's the first appearance of Silver Surfer. And she's like, oh, I thought they already did him. Like, didn't they do him twice? And I go, yeah, but like he was garbage. And she's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I don't know. I just hope that they do good. I don't even know if
Uh,
you are a Fantastic Four fan, Greg, but
I like Fantastic Four. They're not my favorite, but I'm more of a perimeter fan. What I do think this is what happens when your writers and all your actors aren't working, and it's left up to these dudes in a room to decide, okay, how do we try to keep the hype going? Let's
yeah,
change the logo. And that's like the
yeah,
best idea they have. Maybe they want people to look into it because it almost looks like there's two fours there. So
right.
I don't know. But like this isn't news, dude.
Yo, this is huge, man. This is huge because you know what? I used to say it all the time. I was
This is so
so
weak.
amped. I was so amped when they announced Fantastic Four, like so pumped. And then I was kind of bummed because like we went almost like a year and a half with like zero. And then all of a sudden in the last like 2 months, it is Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four. And I love it. Like I'm so pumped for it. So just saying, I'm this one's maybe like a fanboy kind of moment for me. So okay, Greg hates Fantastic Four. Everybody throw stones.
Next.
All right. Skip superheroes for a second and let's go to Disney because Disney still puts out good content. Now they have how do I put this? They haven't really hit the fence when it comes to live action, right? Like we all kind of did you watch The Little Mermaid?
No.
You're part of the problem.
I literally haven't seen any of the live action Disney movies, I don't think.
You are part of the problem then. You are in that pie graph, okay? That is the problem. But this one I can totally dig, and I think that this one might do a little bit better. So, Michael B. Jordan, Taryn, and Ariana Grande are reportedly being considered for live-action Hercules movie. Dude, I don't know about you. I kind of talked about it last week when there was rumblings of them actually having a Hercules live action. Now we kind of know a few names, but I always talk about when McDonald's had those plates and I always wanted to go to McDonald's. I would save up my paper route money to go to McDonald's to get those plates. Those were like one of the early things that I collected as a kid. That and hats. But like that's cool. And I love the movie. I love the early Disney stuff that we got as kids, man. So I'm actually pretty pumped about this. I don't know what way they would go, like if they would kind of keep it like PG or if they would keep it like, I don't know, 14A or like what is 14A now, right? Like you basically can swear and show nipple on TV. The only thing you can't say is like
nobody looks at those ratings. I don't know. That's weird.
But what do you think, man? Live action. So we got what live actions did we get so far? We got Lion King, Little Mermaid.
Moana, not Moana. What's the Mulan? Didn't you?
Oh, Mulan. Okay. They were talking about doing possibly
No, Aladdin.
Oh, fuck. Oh, Aladdin, right? So like, yeah, those, and I think that they were gonna do Bambi at some point, but I don't know how that's going. But this one I'd be all down for. But like you hate Fantastic Four. Do you hate this idea?
Like I said, I haven't watched any of the live action Disney movies. It's just like not on the agenda. Look who decided to show up.
Just remember Randy in that South Park episode. I think that's how I'm picturing Justin right now. As long as Danny DeVito reprises his role as Phil in the live action, it'll be a success. I think they could kind of play around with that. Aladdin, yes. Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, Pinocchio, Dumbo, yes. Greg, you haven't seen any of these?
No. Maybe I saw the Jungle Book. I don't remember.
I think everybody saw Jungle Book.
Maybe.
Yeah, the early one. Yeah. So, all
right.
right. Hyper seen them. We know that. Hyper seen them. I think this one could be good. So that's all. I'm excited for this one. If this is true.
Jewels and the Beast too.
Jewels and the Beast. Jewels. Lion King too. Yeah, I mentioned Lion King. So yeah. Colossus, I forgot to mention. I forgot to message you. But what day are you going to Fan Expo? I'm gonna be there Friday, so hopefully we can meet up. All right. This one really hurts, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one hurts. So Thor gets 5 movies. Captain America is going to get a 4th movie, but technically Civil War is like a 0.5 Captain America, 0.5 Iron Man movie. So it's not fully, but still. And then Iron Man's only got 3, plus he died for all these characters. So I don't know. I'm kind of pissed off at this one simply because of the fact that, well, Rocksteady, I'm going to ask you very bluntly, has there been a Thor movie that's actually been good?
You didn't like any of them? Like the one with Hela?
That one was decent, but that was like kind of like early, like
Ragnarok?
Yeah, but like the thing with Ragnarok was the fact that was like the first rumblings of like them trying to make Thor like this like goofy jock douchey guy for me. Like, I don't know.
But like Loki came from it. Loki's such a great character. Thor, the last one kind of stunk.
So I mean, if you want to put Ragnarok, okay, yeah, like
Ragnarok's the best one.
Yeah, but like, how does this get 5 movies, especially after the Love and Thunder? Or is that why we're getting it? Do you think that that's why we're getting it? Is because
this is a redemption arc?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, what more can you do? Who can you go fight? Like, is it going to be him versus Hercules?
They're on like issue like 800 and something.
Yeah, I know. But when we're getting characters like UT Thor as a fucking enemy, like what does that do? Like, you're fighting fucking University of Texas Thor? Come on. What is it? An orange Thor? You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. It's just, I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say a Thor movie was in their top 10. I've yet to hear anybody. So
Ragnarok, I know lots of people who really like Ragnarok.
Okay, I challenge anybody. I want to be careful how I do this. I want to challenge anybody to tell me if a Thor movie is in your top 10. Greg, is there a Thor movie in your top 10?
Ragnarok might be like in like my top 10 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is probably in there.
Oh my God. Okay. Colossus has got Ragnarok in his top 10. Maybe because it made 750 million, which, while not great, is enough to try to print more money. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. I just want everybody to know I'm drinking natural spring water from President's Choice. And then before the show, I was drinking a Gatorade Zero. So there's no alcohol consumption. I am not drinking. I'm not making any like weird judgments. But let's be real here. Ragnarok in top 3?
Look at what Neighbor to the North said.
Was better than any of the...
Right? And I don't think like that's far-fetched.
Ragnarok.
To be like in people's top 5 even, I don't think it's far-fetched.
Listen, I sometimes hate saying this over and over again, like actually saying it, especially when AOA is around.
World. Yeah, Joel.
Like, especially when AOA is around. But Civil War, Winter Soldier, Endgame, Black Panther 1, like there's 4 right there that just come to mind. And it's like, okay, there, boom, 4. So how is Ragnarok even in the top 10? Because there's no way in hell that would be a 5th one, because you know me, I would probably put Iron Man 1 in there. So there's 5. I don't understand how people would even say that. That's just that's just crazy to me. So
yeah, I'm with Swag. Like, just slips in. Like, it would be like 8 through 10 or something for me. But and Dark World is good. Like, that's the one with Hela, right?
No. Hela's in Ragnarok. I think Greg froze. Yeah. Oh no, he didn't freeze. Yeah, no. Hela's in Ragnarok. Dark World is where they fight like the ice people or whatever, and they break into Asgard, right?
Oh yeah, that one was okay.
So the ice people are gonna fucking lose their mind. All right, well, let's get off this 5 movie trilogy freaking bullshit here. But I had to put this in there. But Blue Beetle officially certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's the highest rated DC movie since 2021. that's not necessarily like a good thing because like the last 2 years for DC haven't been really good. Rocksteady, I know you have not seen the movie.
That's it.
You told me, to maybe not spoil, don't go full spoiler, but I did give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, if you're going into this movie expecting it to be the greatest movie of all time, you're probably not. There were some points in the movie where I was like, how the fuck is that possible? And I even said that out loud because my wife actually hit me and she's like, shh. And I was like, how the fuck is that possible? No one was around, so that's good. There was maybe like 12 people in the theater, so it wasn't empty. There was actually people there before me, so that was kind of crazy. But the one thing that stood out to me after the movie was the fact that they did like a Joseph Amazing Dream. No, not Joseph Amazing Dreamcoat. Or maybe it was Joseph Amazing Dreamcoat. They did like this like
Dreamcoat?
yeah, they did this like religious movie in like the late 70s or early 80s, I think it was. And like part of the joke for it was the fact that like they did it on a construction site, or you could see like an airplane in the background. Like they did it like kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like kind of goofy like that, but it was like a really like, strict religious movie. And I think there was like some singing and stuff, but that's kind of how I felt about this movie. There were some parts where I'm like, why is that in the background? Why are they talking like that? They also really went sexual with it. Like there was a lot of hints at like sexual stuff. Like he gets a boner at one point and like he tries to hide it. Like there's just a few things that happen and I'm just like, what's going on here? Right. The other thing that I don't get, and it's funny because even like Decor, shout out to Decor, but a few people that were actually, making reviews on the movie was the fact that like George Lopez's character is the uncle in the movie, but like he goes into this like house where there's like all these computers that he's never used and he knows how to use them. He goes into this spaceship, he knows how to use it. You know what I mean? Like it's just those things where you're like, how the hell does that work? Right? Because like I can go into a computer at work or in another floor at my work and I'm like, what's the password for this? How do I use this? How do I get in? Like there's just so many things. So the fact that happened, I don't know.
BC is joining us from the theater.
Jesus, I step in and this guy's dropping spoilers. Yeah, you're already at the theater, man. Did you have time? So, Joseph and the Amazing.
That's what it is.
Yes, that's what it is. Blue Beetle is not number 2 for you, so stop it.
Number 2 is that like shit?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I hope that they do a second one, not to spoil it, and it's not going to be like a spoiler. There is 2 end credits, and one of the end credits, like you would think that, there would be another one. I do think that this could be like one of those cool characters. Like I said, like I told you guys earlier when we went to the movies, my wife was like, okay, Black Beetle. And I was like, God damn, like stop embarrassing me. But I just thought it was a cool movie. You're not going to get crazy fight scenes. You're not going to get anything. Half the time when he was in the suit, which I actually liked the fact that he was in the suit and he actually did shit in the suit. It did remind me a little bit about Iron Man. So
everything reminds you of Iron Man. It's like I'm on vacation and all I can think about is Iron Man.
I'm just saying. I had a good time with the movie. I really did. 7.5 out of 10 for me, and I'm okay with that. A few people were giving it a higher rating, but I'm okay with it. So, but I don't think if you're going in with any high expectation or anything, you're probably going to hate it right off the bat. If you want to have fun with it, go for it. I'm Latin. Mexicans aren't Latin. They're Hispanic. But George Lopez's character, like I've got an uncle who is literally like 99% just like that. Like the character George Lopez plays in that's one of my uncles. Okay. So I was dying laughing because some of the stuff that they do in the family dynamics in that movie, I was like, oh my God, that's like my stepsister. Oh my God, that's my uncle. So like part of me was like, I was dying at those parts. You know what I mean?
But do you think someone like me then like is gonna miss all that, or do you think I'm still gonna be able to catch that sort of stuff?
there was a few people that like laughed at certain parts, but then there was parts where like I was the only one laughing, or like my like Lauren was laughing with me because she knows those family members, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there was parts where I was like the only one laughing, and I would look at her and be like, "Oh man, that's Tio Jose, that's Tio Jose," like things like that. So I think I enjoyed it from that, that standpoint. So we'll see. They do make a few Easter eggs as well. I don't think this is going to spoil anything, but he is a student of Gotham Law, so he does wear a sweater that says Gotham Law. So you kind of know that they're kind of bringing that. I did watch a video where somebody was giving a review, and they said that there was like a Superman Easter egg in there as well. I didn't catch it. So I'm gonna have to like go rewatch that. But a few people are saying that there is a few of those. So we'll see.
Because this is continuity now. Like this is the first.
Yeah.
So what's in this is in there purposefully.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? You know how much I like this movie? You know how much I like this movie?
How much?
I'm gonna wait for the hype to die, and I'm probably gonna go buy the first appearance of Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle in a 9/8. I probably will do that. I'm gonna wait till it kind of dies down a little bit, but I know Justin had a few copies, and I probably should have pulled the trigger there, but I feel like they're gonna be a little bit cheaper. So
I think I have one. I might have one. Not graded, but it's like a nice one.
Well, I'm definitely looking for it. I like the character, and I think it could do well down the road. Young enough to take the mantle for a bit, so I kind of dig that. With that, we're gonna end with Marvel because newbie talking DC, that's just crazy enough. But we talked a little bit about it a few weeks ago, but things just keep going and going and going. And I know people don't want to hear it because we're so fixated on the old team. But Shang-Chi, Captain America, Falcon, Captain America, whatever we're going to call him, and Shuri, Falcon America, baby. And Shuri are supposedly who people are talking about or, setting fires to in terms of them being the leaders of this next group.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you see it? Is it marketable?
So we're getting into another universal event, like kind of like Endgame was. Like this Kang stuff is all going to come together. They're going to have to form the super team. So what does that mean, and who is that going to be with what we have already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are some of the best from it. I'd like to see maybe more Winter Soldier. I don't know who else I would have leading. Hopefully they don't bring in like She-Hulk or Moon Knight or someone like this into this. But I think as far as like globally, those global superheroes, these are them, right? Like we're not talking galactic or anything like that. But I think globally, these are three of the biggest. Yeah.
Swag, you know what? I would agree with you right then and there. Yeah, it's funny because Doctor Strange was the one that a lot of people were talking about, like leading up to even like his movie, Doctor Strange 2, and a name that just kept, popping up. And now all of a sudden it's almost like, hey, we're going a completely different direction, and we're kind of forgetting that, like, oh, he's there. I know that Bruce Banner can't be the leader, just because of how he is, like how his character is more like Professor Hulk, or like just like an adaptation of that. But like, I don't know, Shang-Chi I could see. Shuri, I don't think so. Just like I get the tech stuff, and they're probably going to use her, not in a bad way, but like use her in terms of like, the knowledge, right? Because there is no Iron Man, there is no T'Challa. Like she is the smartest one around. So like I totally get them using her. But yeah, Captain America, I don't know. Like he's not super strength. He doesn't have all that. It's just like his skills from Falcon, just in a new suit. That's all it is, really.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
What are like the other options at this point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Guardians are gone. Iron Man's gone. Sorry to bring that up. Like, would you rather And it's a little early for Ironheart or
But
America
even that, I don't
Chavez.
think that like even that would be a suitable leader for the group. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting to
Ant-Man
see. Ant-Man would be a cool one, but then again, like a lot of these like
kind
superheroes
of been
who
there.
have superpowers would probably just look at him and laugh, right? Like,
Carol Danvers then, or like I don't know.
yeah, I think they're still afraid to make her the leader just because of the relationship that Brie Larson had with like a lot of these characters. So we'll see. Newbie, BC, and Rocksteady and the Marvel Stooges. Who would be our Stooges though?
No, we're the Three Stooges. That's what.
Oh,
Yeah, that
damn.
worked out really well.
Yo, that was an acting job. So just so you know. Did they just forget about building the Dark Avengers or
Right?
Young
Like,
Avengers? I think that in terms of like the Dark Avengers, I think with them doing the Thunderbolts, they're probably not going to touch the Dark Avengers for a while. I also
yeah,
don't see them doing the Young Avengers anymore as much as I thought they were going to like years ago. We've had this conversation. I think Hyper was on it
yeah,
back in the day during COVID, and we talked about how people were talking about Young Avengers 1 being, the giant size X-Men, the X-Men 1 equivalent.
yeah.
And I just don't see it anymore. I really don't. Yeah. Yeah. A little
Right.
bit. All right. Well, we'll talk about that one another time. But Rocksteady, man, great show. Let's let the people know where they can find you if they are tuning in for the first time or they're watching from a different time zone, light years away, aliens, whatever the case may be. But let the people know, man, where they can find you.
So mostly on Instagram. That's where I seem to be hanging out. Not so much on the YouTube. But yeah, Rock City Collectibles there. Coming up, we are setting up at Fan Expo Edmonton. So that'll be fun. That's next month. I will be missing a couple weeks coming up, or maybe 1 week. I'm not sure because I'm going to Mexico to hang out with the Hispanics.
Ooh,
Right? I got it
yeah.
right.
Good,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, I got
good
it
job.
right.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Bring my stickers there. They just tell them I'm from South America. They'll love me.
He's
So.
big in Canada.
Yeah, huge. Grande.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. I'm a little actually.
And then Dark Star is going to be October 15th. So we just set the date for that.
Dark Star.
We'll get that rolling.
Dark Star. Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, I wanted people to know that you weren't talking necessarily about Fan Expo this weekend. So
yeah, no, Fan Expo Edmonton, and
yeah, you kind of scared me a lot. I was like, whoa, what? This is news to me. But yeah, so definitely, even though he doesn't use the YouTube, make sure to go sub up to him. He needs some subs. But yeah, enjoy Mexico, man. Don't worry about it. I expect you have internet down there, so you could do the show, but whatever.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I think it would be a great show, dude. You eating tacos and Coronas, and a band behind you. Like I think it'd be great. Yeah, I couldn't say that word. That's why I was like, but yeah. So we'll see. Don't worry, BC. You say you will go and then cancel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then show up in the chat.
Dude, I swear, if BC does not go to Terrificon, oh my god. Oh my god.
You're at risk now.
Hey, let's be positive. What we put out in the universe, we get back. So I'm putting it out there. Plus, I don't want to ruin it. I like 10 years from now, I want to be like, hey, I've been coming to this thing for 13 years straight. That's kind of what I think I'll sound like at 40.
That's how I sound after day 3 there.
Well, our amigo has gone Hollywood, but we still show love. We still support the family. So Mr. Blakk Crown couldn't be here with us. He is actually watching Blue Beetle or a wedding stuff at this hour in Quebec. So how many things are actually open in Quebec? But make sure to go follow him. He just had Matt Forge on Sunday. He's taking a week off, and then he's got Bueller with comics on. So make sure to go check that out. You and myself have been on the show. There's a few friends that have been on it as well. So make sure to go sub up. He is having a giveaway at 250 subs. So I think he just eclipsed that, or he's just very close. So make sure to go do that. And go follow him on Instagram as well. He puts out great content. And yeah, he's one of us. He's one of our boys. So go support. All right, Rocksteady. Any last words before we take off?
No, keep it cool out there. Hopefully Ahsoka meets everybody's expectations. So yeah.
Hey, I was with the wife.
But yeah, great chat as always. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, it's always great.
Shout out to Jewels.
I would assume that's like what he does.
GDP thing?
Yeah, I would assume that's what he does. All right, guys. Well, it's a great show. Great hanging out.
I just noticed that he probably did do that, didn't he? He did do that.
Oh jeez, I don't know who Jewels is, so I mean, I'm just assuming that's what he did. You know? But you know, don't spoil Blue Beetle. You know, like I did. Don't spoil it, but don't spoil Blue Beetle. Don't spoil Ahsoka, because there are some Ahsoka fans out there. There are some Star Wars fans, so you know, be mindful of that. Enjoy the 2 episodes. It's kind of cool that it's on Tuesday. And then, of course, enjoy New Comic Book Day tomorrow. All right, guys. Great show. We'll see you next Tuesday. Show 140. Adios. Blue Beetle, baby.